This is a home game for me. I was like, my office is 10 minutes away from here, so couldn't be too late. That's nice. And it's a nice weather, so yeah, thanks for having me. No worries. Yeah, it's sharp enough. So my name is Koen. I'm leading as general manager for the Benelux. We are a European company out of Munich, now pre-IPO, and we are actually an HR tech company. So yeah, we're actually trying to solve all the employee life journey processes of SMB and mid-market customers. But today I'm not going to really talk about Personio. From my perspective as general manager, it's very important that if we want to go to market, and especially in a new country, we are German, we have a really big home base in Germany. But the moment that we really want to go, for myself, I'm only responsible for Benelux. We have operations in Spain, in the UK, in the Nordics. You really need to build from scratch. You need to build credibility. And how can you build credibility? If you really run your region as one revenue team, which means marketing, sales, and partnerships, and all the other functions around. Sounds so easy, is not. I think that's really important, and I think that's also how we embrace. For today, the title, it says 5 Async Tactics to Close Partner Deals Faster or Close Deals Faster with Partners is what you want yourself. I think nowadays, Chris, you already mentioned it, really standing out and making sure you have the credibility in a new market or just to win that extra deal, the partner is the closest and nearest and trusted voice. So I think partners overall, and we overall, we can really make this impact, and we can also help our direct channel to really convert on high win rates. So I do really want to dive into a few practical tips. We have like 25 minutes. If you have only one tip which you take home, you think like, hey, this is an interesting one which I can leverage for myself, for our sales team, for our partner team, then it is, at least for me, a success. Let's start with a question. So what percentage of the buying journey nowadays is spent only talking to vendors? So how much of the entire buying journey? Just some numbers. Who wants to go first? Jasper. 15 to 20%. Anyone else? Greg. 5%. I mean, indeed, I just do Gartner, so I don't know what it is, but I think it is interesting for us just to stand still and see like how much percentage are we actually having ourselves. Yeah, you're very close, Jasper. Very, very, very good. Jasper is actually a customer of ours, which is actually funny. And you will be in this presentation actually, Jasper, like FSC. But 70%, which means if only 70% we as companies can talk towards the potential buyers, we all know that there are between 3 and 5 competitors in a cycle. So the moment that we can speak through partners or our direct channel towards the end customers is very slim. But we need to stand out in a very crowded market. Whatever game you are, whatever industry you are, it's a very crowded market. So yeah, how can you stand out? And then a second thing I think for all of us, even if you look to partnerships or just to watch a buying cycle, we all think that the buying cycle looks like this, right? It's very straightforward. We make them aware, we do events, and yeah, they will go towards selection, and they will, if we do the right thing, they will find us and they will purchase us. But we all know, I picked this from Gartner, but it is just to showcase, like, this is the madness if you want to buy something internally. And if you really look, most of the buyers, depending of course on what kind of industry you are working, are uneducated. They typically haven't bought software before. They typically haven't bought your category software before. So it's our job not to sell, it's our job to enable, to help, to stand out. So they really see us as a trusted advisor. And let's be honest, I think this picture, I don't know who have seen this picture before. I really loved it. I've used it multiple times from Jill Rowley. This is actually how it should look like, because I think sometimes we overestimate it, but we as partners, we can really help through the entire funnel to build that credibility, to build that trust, not only to create the opportunities, but to close opportunities, to renew and to grow our overall customer base. Of course, this is an ideal world, and I don't think for all of us here it's already like this, but I think this is how it should look like. But let's be honest, if we really look towards the buying nowadays, especially in 2025, just some stats, I won't go over it, but I think it's quite clear. The buyers don't want to talk to us at this moment. They rather really do their research on themselves. Whether you are through your partner channel or your direct and partner motion together, they don't like talking to us. They ideally now even go to ChatGPT, voice prompting, and say, give me a list of, this is my requirement list, give me the 5 shortlisted ones, and definitely they go to their websites, they already request demo, but they already done quite some of that research before they even start talking to us. So I think it's just something for ourselves to be really aware of. But then we go and look towards our own or partner channel or sales channel. Did we really change? We all say yes, but let's be honest, sometimes we are still acting like 2 years ago. But 2 years ago, how we run sales cycles or partner cycles and how we try to sell, or how we try to even recruit new partners, because I think that's also very important to look at. It is different. It is really different, and there's loads of competition, so we need to adjust. And then the last thing, I mean, how many competitors are we having? The other day, I was at HR Tech. We are an HR Tech company, and we were there with 7 other ones who had the same booth, different colors, but in the eyes of the customer, all the same. Slightly different, maybe a Workday, or they are longer on the market, bigger brand, more money, but in the end, they're all the same. So how can you really differentiate and how can you stand out? And that's why I'm really a fan of async communication. Sounds very fancy if you see the title on the board. One question, who can come up with like a channel which is async? Just name out. What? Slack is one. Email. 10 points. Text. It's also async. Slack, Teams, like internally, but also with your partners or with your end customers. LinkedIn, direct messaging. Who use LinkedIn or direct messaging in there, like to recruit partners and to update partners and to help close deals? And video. Who's used video? Proactively, multiple times a week. Wow. Okay. No offense. Voicemail or voice note. Who leaves voice notes through either, let's say, LinkedIn or over WhatsApp towards their partners, or if they're running cycles? Who knows digital sales rooms? Who's using digital sales rooms? Something to learn. That's why I want to speak today on async. Like, the future is async. Our buyers, together with our partners, they want to buy at moments that matters for themselves. The other day, my coffee machine was broken. I want a new coffee machine. I just go online, I buy something, I do my research. Of course, that's B2C, right? And the other day, I have my new coffee machine. I had lovely coffee. But that entire experience will be more and more as well in our B2B world. And not only for SMB, not only for mid-market, but also more and more for enterprise. Sure, we really add value, but they want to buy in their own terms, ideally without us all involved, so we can do also other things. So what are the 5 key tactics we can use? And I only want to spark the conversation to increase our win rates. And I want to be frank, I will look from 2 different perspectives for yourselves: recruiting, educating new partners, whatever type of partners you have, with co-selling, with referral, with reseller, you name it. But as well, together with your partners, how can you convert business? So, like I said, and these are some Dutch examples because I'm responsible for the Benelux. The Netherlands is the biggest market. I tend to be active on LinkedIn, so I do a lot through direct messaging, etc. Also for my teams. Connecting via LinkedIn, recruiting, updating partners. Who said like doing that actively on LinkedIn again? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I mean, it's an easy way. Like, I continuously looking for new partners, or with my competitors, looking for like what kind of partners they are tagging in posts, doing events with. And the only thing I'm trying to do is sending them just direct messages. Like I thought like was a good partner of us, announced a new partnership with our competitor who just came into the market. Obviously, for those who can read Dutch, so do we still want to become like officially friends, or are you going with the competitor? I mean, it's of course like a lightweighted message. And again, maybe if you're an enterprise, it's different. I mean, SMB and mid-market, I can do these kind of things. But also for myself as a country manager, it's very important to recruit those partners and to learn what's going on in that market. So this is just an example, just how simple it can be for us as partner leaders, or for ourselves as leaders, to recruit and to update partnerships. Who has their partners in their internal Slack or Teams? Like the key partners, 5 to 10 partners. I like to see that one. Like already not even half, but like almost half, like say 40% of the room. So all our key partners, we're using Slack internally. We have all those partners in Slack, which, I mean, we celebrate things. It was on the 13th of February. It's HR, so we can lovely do with cakes and Valentine. But like all our sellers, the partner manager, all the consultants of that, the account managers from the partner, they are in that channel. So it feels like these are colleagues. And this is also how quickly you can respond on things. So that is so nice. how you can leverage this. And indeed, like just asking for deal updates. I'm myself as well. Sometimes I can't wait because then we need to hit the forecast, and then like, okay, I can also directly message myself, the partner, and see like where we are. Everyone is contributing to closing those deal cycles, and they can get the latest updates. So just some examples of how you can leverage this. Another one, maybe let me ask you first, like who is actively engaging on LinkedIn on posting of partners? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10%? So, I mean, I created this list myself. I'm kind of nerdy when it comes to these kind of things. I just want to be updated on what's going on in the market. But what I do as well, the key influencers in the space and the key partners who I know are quite actively on LinkedIn, I've bookmarked them in my Chrome. Every day, if I have time, typically it's a couple of times a week, I just go over their post and what I'm doing, like what an awesome group of talent to give the people. Okay, this is not a very like detailed or very strategic comment, but it is sometimes just to notice where, hey, it's me again. Because they see you again, they think about your brand, and that helps. There are very small things which you can do just to be in top of mind. And this is, again, just a few examples of Async. And just for yourself, like I'm not the expert on partnerships. I learned still a lot from Greg and the others like who are really key in the partner game. But I'm trying at least to follow those who are quite active on LinkedIn posting, and I collecting the posts so I can learn more on what are the latest tactics on partnerships, so I can educate my teams, I can learn myself, and I can apply those learnings. Second, who is leveraging video to either invite partners for their quarterly meetups or any kind of enablement sessions you are hosting, or, because it's easier, using video for internal updates towards your teams, mainly your revenue teams and go-to-market teams, to really be aligned as sales, SDR, AE, account management, and us as partner leaders. Who's leveraging that? Again, nothing good or wrong, but I know myself as well. If sometimes it's a challenge, I don't know if you face it as well. I'm trying to do my best as possible to have a spot of partnerships. Like, we are not two different channels, we are one channel. But still, sometimes, especially the AEs, they find it very difficult to work alongside. They still see it as kind of a competitor, and we should not. So that's also part of leadership, to really enhance and to be very strong, like we are one. So when it comes to updates, so we are now actually talking on APIs. So we leverage now a payroll provider in the Netherlands. We fully leverage their API in our backend as our new payroll engine. So we don't want to build locally in the Netherlands. We want to build our own payroll engine. No, we are really working together with someone who's really in the market, leveraging the APIs. This is a really big project for us. Like, so many people are involved internally in our company. So I really want to make sure that my team is up to date. So I, multiple times now in the recent weeks, recording video messages, trying to bring this enthusiasm and the importance and how it is going to help the direct sales team. So just examples of how you can leverage videos internally. I mean, I don't mind, like I'm making a lot of those videos. Most of them, they're all like wrong, and I need to retake and don't look good, don't speak very clearly. So do a lot of retakes, but also in cycle. So I'm just recruited my first partner manager. He will start in April. So I was also acting partner manager myself, next to being a GM. In cycles, when it comes to our key integrations, again, this is also on payroll. I record those videos so the AEs can leverage them to send them along on cycles from themselves. So also to educate in cycle or educate partners, I think it's a really interesting method. I just have some examples how we are doing that, how we leverage video to bring message across. And again, you can do this for creating partnerships, for enabling your partners, or helping together in cycle to convert. And the interesting thing is, if we actually look typically from a prospecting perspective, you see a lot of people using video, maybe also for yourself if you want to recruit partnerships. But you have in-cycle updates, but also for the contracting phase sometimes it can be very useful. So the other day I'm now working on a framework agreement with like a VC company. They have 61 companies in their portfolio, 2 already customers of ours. So I want to build a framework agreement. And of course, we are really in the nitty-gritty detail of like, okay, but if it's a larger customer, what kind of percentage discount you get additionally, and like what is the tiering, and like blah, blah, blah. Of course, I can send it over email, which I did, but I record directly a video alongside it, just to be very clear so he can hopefully understand the methodology behind, in this case, the pricing setup. So also when it comes to pricing or contracting video, is really something which you can leverage or just talk through. So our direct sales team, our partner teams, we are using this continuously to be clear. So also people can share this maybe internally. Next one. Click. Who knows single multi-threading as a term? Multi-threading. So, sorry? Yeah, no, but eventually multi-threading is like, hey, I know that in a cycle, and that sometimes also when you recruit new partners, you just go after that one person. But typically also larger partners, they have multiple people in that organization. Or we've recruited a new partner, we did a beautiful demo to them just to see if they have interest. It's a group of 15 people. What are we doing? We're sending one email to 15 people. I know it's more time consuming, but what I advise our direct team and also our partner team, just do one-on-one emails. Sounds very weird. Like, I really want to build specifically a relationship with yourself because I want to build multiple champions in an organization or in my partner team. So typically also my previous company, we had Genesis, one of the largest when it comes to contact center software as partner. We educate the entire world on our proposition. We had like a point solution integrated into the platform. And we built relationship one by one just to see who sticks, because you want to understand if you recruit a partner, if you enable a partner as well, who is the one who is actually able to sell with me, who really gets energy from it. So single multi-threading is just a method rather than sending group emails. Do this one by one, because then you can build, or in a deal cycle, or when you're recruiting partners or enabling partners, you get back eventually who is really interested into your organization, into your product. And I rather spend time with them than those, the silent voices who not eventually will become very transactional. Champion building, I'm actually always, again, this is Dutch. It's a Belgian partner. She was partner, yes, was preferred partner of one of our biggest competitor. And that, these games I always like. And my team is always complaining like, they are like with the competitor. Okay, did we ever talk to them? Did we ever try to enable them? Did we ever try to learn what is in there for them? So in this case, and you see like the time, 8:14 p.m. So we were losing a deal, and she was the partner, the consultant in between. And I don't like losing, especially not to my biggest competitor. So then even it was Friday night, I think even, we used to go over LinkedIn and sending messages to the partner. And that's just actually understanding what's in for you. And why are you actually going for the competitor? I just want to understand so I can learn. I'm fine if you go with them. By just finding out, we just eventually were able to really qualify that entire opportunity. And I don't know if that, yeah. I actually learned that the other week they had a management meeting where she, as a partner, gave the advice towards the management on the solution. And on the Friday evening and the Saturday morning, we were able, on the Friday evening, I even asked, it was like, I think on the Monday later on, we asked like to record for our product expert or product manager to record a video. We put it in LinkedIn or in email, and we sent it towards this case, this consultant. She was presenting to the management 2 weeks later, and we signed the contract a week later. And we didn't have any meeting in between. So no phone call or no video conference or like a Zoom or Teams meeting. Just to show the importance of what you can do async next towards, I need to have that meeting or I need to have that call. People are so busy, they don't have those times. But it doesn't mean for us as partners that we have to sit still and wait. No, we can communicate in different ways. And that's actually, I think, a very interesting one just to consider. And that's the same thing. I mean, this is actually funny because this is FSC. Like back in the days, your interim CEO was leading that project together with Kirsten Jasper. And I knew we didn't have access to watch the economic buyer. So this is like a direct sales cycle, but important because eventually the partner, the interim CMO was also a partner at a very big VC company in Belgium. So I thought like, I need to do something extra because VC, more companies, potential more business. So I'm trying at least to, I know they were not like involved in the project, but having stakeholder management involved is sometimes difficult because they won't jump on that call. But by just recording a video, and for myself as a GM or as a partner manager, if I have some credibility, I can send that email. But be very direct. So we record the video, and this is actually a video of one of my senior sellers, and I really highlight specifically what I think is interesting for the CEO, and I send it over. It was very nice, like his response. But I signed the contract, and it was a very nice one for 3 years. So I was very happy that we had one in a sales cycle of 5 weeks. And I won't say that this is the key factor of signing deals faster, but definitely it speeds up that cycle because we try to come towards economic buyers. So also there, if we want to have more strength in our partnership, we maybe not have always the biggest leaders involved in the project. Think about how you can leverage video maybe or async to get towards higher up in the tree, in the hierarchy. We're nice on time. Pre-recorded demos. I don't know how it's for yourself. I mean, we have a very small partner team in the Netherlands. We have a very large one, let's say overall in Germany, because we are there already existing for 10 years, but in the Netherlands only 4 years. I don't have time to recruit, onboard, educate, continuous updating about the latest when it comes to our products. So obviously it's a very obvious one, but pre-recorded demos overall is a very interesting function of educating buyers or educating partners. So I guess that most of you are doing this, but still sometimes we are spending so much time, and I can remember as well from my previous role where we run out this partnership over the entire globe, that we continuously want to go and meet them in the meeting, but it's so time consuming. So rather record stuff and share stuff, but always be very specific on what is relevant to them, because nobody, even if you sometimes say, sign up for this webinar, let's be honest, who's watching that webinar afterwards? No one. But you do want to know the nuggets. So if you are very specific on what are the elements which I think are relevant for yourself in this new Q3 update towards my partners, more likelihood that they will go towards that specific moment and they will get the update, which is, I think, then that moment relevant to them. Just some examples of like what we also do, like sure, in sales cycles, if we want to educate partners, we can go really depth in the product because they need to be enabled. We stopped doing that mainly. And Lucas, I don't know, this is of course what we do in the Benelux. So I don't say like how we're doing it overall in Personio. But we really leverage video a lot to update our partners, to update our customers, and because it's so much time saving. So yeah, we can go with our solution engineering and all our product experts into deep dives, or maybe it's a little bit personal, but everyone is fine. They can watch it on their own terms. Who is familiar with Storylane? Just a clickable demo. You know what it is also for yourself. You recruit new partners or you want to update partners and you go to your demo environment and like, it's still like the old one from a previous meeting. I need to update stuff. I need to clean stuff. Storylane is just like a very simple tool, which actually is always a very clean demo and people can click through it themselves. So just examples how you can, again, educate either or your partners or in cycle, all different ways of async. And definitely they are not new, but it's just a good reminder for all of us that if we are saying that we are too busy recruiting new partners or going after that partner or hitting that number, just think in your agenda where you can be eventually way more effective with your time using these kind of async communication methods with partners or in cycles. Brings me actually at the last one. I saw that not many people really leverage them yet. I guess that most of us are really using partner software to, like the partner CRM, that's the name again, like for partner software, which we, and partner, but for instance, I'm not very good on all the software which you're using. And we are still actually not in the Benelux. We don't use any software for our partner, which is actually, I don't know, Lucas, we have to talk about this. I don't know, but it's really a pity that my partners can't see which deals they've closed, what their funnel is. But eventually it's very important to have all the communication which we are sharing with our partners, but also in deal cycles with the customer where the partner is involved. Are we all on the same page? And a new category, I think it came up in the market 2-3 years ago. We've been experimenting with digital sales rooms for 2 years. And they're all different kind of vendors. I mean, actually there are way more now. It's like super crowded. Well, what is it? Does anyone know what it is? Jesper, you have an answer?
All of your communication around the deal visible for everybody involved in the deal and available at any time they want.
Period. Yeah, it's just a project page. Yeah. But again, like remember how many emails we would send, and then we are sending proposals over the email, or we have phone calls and we don't follow up on the email. There's so much information which we are actually sharing with our partners, sharing in deal cycles, especially if we do mid-market enterprise. Those cycles are long, but we need to make sure, getting back to what I said at first, most of the buyers, and maybe also a lot of partners, they are uneducated, they haven't bought that before. And definitely our partners, they will never maybe be so good in selling the stuff which if we are the vendor ourselves. So with eventually digital sales groups, I just show some examples how we use it. You can actually collect all this information on a central page, which is interesting because again, you're enabling partners, you're enabling buyers. But I don't have to tell you, when everyone is at that same page, and you can even collect who is on that page, we have all the analytics. So I know the engagement because we want to speed up deal cycles. We want to increase our win rates. And with those analytics, which you typically also have on your website, you now have analytics who in your from your key partners or your key opportunities with your partners, how much they are involved, who is involved, where they're looking at, how long are they looking at. Yeah, I mean, there are breadcrumbs everywhere. So you have all those analytics. So we use it directly for any new deal cycle. And again, we don't have a separation between partner, source, yeah, of course, in our attribution in the CRM, but eventually we will run like all deal cycles together. So the AEs run the deals, partners always alongside, the solution engineers alongside. We are working together as a team to create and to convert deals. So you can use it obviously for the direct deal cycles. We leverage, for instance, this is the example of the framework agreement for the VC company. Is actually one of our sellers who is always helping out, recruiting, and of course they see opportunities, so then they work a little bit harder. And they record nice videos to also really make it personal. But again, collecting all this information, you don't, I didn't make the screenshot in the right way. So the framework agreement, all the APIs, all the information, the videos, everything is collected on that same page. So it's very easy for our main contact person, who now runs that part in the VC, to share that as well with his peers or with other people in that organization. And again, once those people also enter the deal room, we see this. And eventually, I think that's always the case. Who works with, and that's my last point, sorry for all the loads of information towards yourself, who knows, works with mutual action plans, really with mutual action plans. Who knows what mutual action plans are? Why are we not using it? Like if we spend time together to, like eventually we are interested, are you going to partner with us? Are you wanna work with us as a direct sales cycle? We need to work towards a certain moment, which is eventually not we have a signed contract. No, for a partner maybe to have our first deal, or with a direct sales cycle, we have implemented the software. That's like the point at the end. And we need to backtrack all the way across. What are all the steps we on our side, you on your side, need to accomplish to get there? We are mutually in that project. And I think that's the entire reason 2 years ago when we started with this kind of software. And we also do it with partners to help each other accountable and to make sure that we reach those milestones. Because if we reach those milestones, we stay on track of eventually what we forecasted. So it's very simple. And this is, of course, part of a digital sales room, how you can help your partners and customers, your internal peers, accountable for delivering stuff. And you keep it all at the same place so you can track that progress. Again, it's all not like magical wisdom, but like one of the things, we are all so busy that we don't have much time. And if we want to earn time back, there are just a few things where we can think about how can we win time back, but still make an impact in that customer cycle, in that partner cycle, knowing that we only have 70% to influence. No, like I said, 3 vendors, so 5%, that we are really in the entire buying cycle talking to customers. And by leveraging Async, eventually, we increase slightly those moments which we have with partners, with customers. So that's my last 2 quotes, but I actually just like. It's a very crowded market. Of course, we are very proud of our product, but the way how we sell and how we make partners and how we make customers feel is even equally important as what we are selling as a product, because more and more we're becoming a commodity. And the last one, but I think just a rule for us internally, no deal room, no deal, because every deal needs to have this deal room. So we are working together very quickly towards a mutual action plan. And of course, we collect all the analytics. So hopefully our forecast is slightly more accurate. So that's actually what I wanted to share. We are over time, so we're good. And then I just want to ask the question. So a lot of information, a lot of different tactics which you can use. I'm always curious, which is the one which sticks most, where you think like, hey, that can I apply tomorrow morning? Who wants to feels?
With respect to single Yeah, thanks. I have a question with respect to the single multi.
Threading. Yeah. Sorry for the term.
Correct. You, I mean, I agree with you. I also send out a lot of individual emails to people.
Yeah.
That's how you build a relationship. Recently, we've been starting to use some sort of SaaS solution to send out messages a bit more involved. It's not like when you're regular email shots having but how do you look at that? Because it still allows you to engage more frequently, for example, to start building up a individual thread. Is that fine from your perspective? Or you say, no, we try to know everybody individually?
If I present, I need to always picture the perfect world. So this is not always happening with us either. But I think it's always just important. Everyone, if you really go towards why are we losing deals, we're mainly also with partners. We're just talking to the one person. Like we need to broaden that horizon. So I think that should be just a habit that you're doing this. But I think nowadays with the gongs, the claries, and everything, they are all recorded. They already make suggestions what kind of mails you're sending out. So you can of course think how you can do this way more effectively. But I always at the end of a cycle, I don't want to hear from anyone, whether it's a partner manager or an account manager or a seller, that hey, we had a demo for 4 or 5 or for 10 people, but I'm still the last 2 or 3 weeks or last 3 months, I'm just talking to that one person. That's just not happening because people, they're depending on the size of the deal, there are 6, 8, 10 people involved in the deal cycle. So just as a reminder for ourselves, build multiple relations, and this is just a way to do it.
Thank you, Kuhn. That was awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, that